In this episode, inflatable pool duels, theft simulation relay races, and sumo-style wrestling with beer pitchers. It's the Florida Man Games.
And on the flip side, we tell you why you should never be ashamed of breaking your belt. And is there anything worse than waking up on Wednesday, but it's actually Tuesday? Mike, hit the music.
And welcome back to another episode of the Funny Business Podcast. Matt, you look absolutely wonderful tonight. Let me just first start off. Let's just bask in the greatness of how well you look tonight for this episode, or just in general, how well you look great in this episode. Tell me, what are you wearing? Are you wearing khakis?
Not quite.
What? Why not?
Well, I guess you didn't get the dress code for it, or I should say I didn't get the dress code for it today.
Wait, what is the dress code?
Well, I see you right now. I see a blue collared shirt with a tie and a gray jacket, and I am apparently, is that like a sea turtle? I don't know what that is.
I'm seeing you as a paint bucket, and you're a drip from the paint bucket.
Okay, so that's a paint bucket? I thought that was a turtle with headphones.
So if you are listening in your car, if you're listening on the treadmill, you may not recognize a huge difference, but to our video listeners, we sincerely apologize. It is completely my fault that we have to record in this format, but you know, Matt, takes me back to the good old days when we had episode 1. Do you remember recording episode 1?
I remember recording episode 0.
That too. Episode 0. That was another one. But we unfortunately, for some reason, weren't able to get our regular recording working. More so, it was on my part more than anything. But the show must go on. And I think we had what, Matt? Maybe 5 attempts to get recording going, and then I've always ended up just screwing it up. So
we had a solid 2 that we got 6 minutes in, but it's okay. I mean, things happen. Can't control everything. Just all of you should know that if you ever have any technical difficulties or any issues like that, just remain calm and DM Mike on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and he will help you out.
Sure, with a nice flat fee of $50 to start. So
yes, Mike will pay you $50 in addition to his help.
So, out of the 5 times we tried recording, I almost completely forgot what we actually talked about, in literally the first part of the show.
Somehow something came up about what we did this weekend, and then we kind of went on an in and out tangent.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, you were jokingly saying that we went to Pebble Beach, physically went to Pebble Beach.
Yes. Well, we golfed Pebble Beach.
We golfed at Pebble Beach. So we had a virtual tour, and then it was great. And then so we got some physical time together, Matt. So I guess I will say that past weekend did make up for what we have to deal with tonight.
Yeah. I mean, it was great seeing each other as always. And it was just a fun little time. I enjoyed the golf simulator. And I'm glad I got to see your face on this past weekend because I can't see it right now.
You see a headshot that I took in 2018. I haven't updated it ever since. So
you look like an infant.
I think that was at my very humble beginnings of learning photography, and I had to do headshots for the whole team. And obviously I had to dress for success in getting a nice headshot. But I don't think that headshot is circulating anymore because I have a nice one that Jenna's sister took for me. So
do you think how many people do you think record a podcast without seeing the other person?
Very often. I've been through the experience once before, and AFK with Ninja does it too.
Oh, that's a good point. Yeah, that's a great point. Forgot about that.
Mm-hmm. So, Matt, let's finally get to the topic that we wanted to cover today. I sent over to Matt. It's an article by the Associated Press. It's by Russ Bynum. The heading for this is "At the Florida Man Games, big crowds cheer competitors evading police and wrestling over beer." Matt, when I sent you that title, what were your thoughts on that?
That is the most Florida headline of all time. Is really all I had. I mean, it's got it all. Well, other than like meth heads, there's really nothing else missing from Florida.
So how this breaks down, this takes place in St. Augustine, Florida. Where else in Florida? And it is legitimately called the Florida Man Games. And what is it described? Matt, if you could think of the Florida Man Games, what do you think the description would be?
Like the competitions that are in it, or the describing what the Man Games are?
Like, go ahead. Pick your poison.
Well, Florida Man Games is obviously deciding who has the most Florida in them. It's like you got that dog in him. He's got that Florida in him. But like, what do you do? Probably like wrestle an alligator. Who can last the longest in a Disney World ride? Like waiting line, not on the ride, but like waiting in line.
Sure.
So like you have to wait 4 hours to ride It's a Small World. Yeah, that's maybe like surviving the Daytona 500 tailgate. Yeah, that's probably about it.
All right. Well, it is described as the most insane athletic showdown on Earth. Matt, it's even better than golf. I added that as an addition to that. So the games include events like inflatable pool duels, theft simulation relay races, sumo-style wrestling with beer pitchers, and more. And what it shared is competitors, many caricatured in tank tops and cutoff shorts, or in the professional sense, jorts, showcase their skills in events that mirror Florida's quirky headlines involving brawling, beer, reptile wrangling, and risky antics. Before I jump back, thoughts on jorts?
That is probably like if the state of Florida had a school uniform, it would be a tank top and jorts. That's really, you can't get more Florida than that.
I feel like jorts are a very odd thing to wear.
Did you ever wear jorts like regularly as a kid?
I did not.
I did.
Did you?
Yeah, in like elementary school, and then middle school came around. Is like, I don't feel like getting bullied, and I stopped wearing them. But I would wear jorts to school. I would wear them to the mall. I'd wear them to your mom's house.
Oh,
yeah, all the above.
We are in the podcast after hours. We're getting we're starting zinging each other. So, I was fortunate to have a jean jacket, if that counts.
That does not count. No, jean jackets are technically still in style.
Yeah. I had a nice, I know I've mentioned this many times before, but I had a nice Batman patch on the left side of my jean jacket. And I think my mom hand sewn it. So it was pretty cool.
That is badass. Yeah.
So a little bit more into the Florida Man Games. So James Gordon, not to be confused with James Corden of DeLand, won the first event by devouring a plate of barbecue pork and sausage before his competitors, emphasizing the laid back attitude of a Florida native. Matt, would you think you'd be able to devour a full plate of barbecue pork and sausage?
Yeah, that seems pretty easy.
All right. What's your run time for that?
How big is the plate?
Let's just say barbecue pork. So let's take ribs, for instance. No.
Ooh,
why am I saying ribs?
Often? No, I'm thinking like shredded pork.
Yeah, that's let's think like a 4-pack of sandwiches. Like you got like the burger buns, and then you got the barbecue pork. Like let's just say 4 burgers and sausage.
Okay. I usually don't do buns with my pork, but I'm gonna say like 15 minutes.
I will say, Matt, I do remember your graduation party having some nice barbecue pork.
Yeah, who the hell catered that? I don't know. That may have been Mission Barbecue. No free ads.
No free ads. I think there was also, it had to be Mission, because I think there was like 6 different sauces that you could choose from.
Yep, that's Mission. Yeah. Yeah.
I remember.
Yeah, it's barbecue sauces. They're like, oh, these are all different. It was like, yeah, okay.
So in continuing on from some of the competitions, so various events simulate scenarios like wrestling sumo style while holding pitchers of beer, running from sheriff's deputies, or grabbing cash in hurricane-like winds. Matt, spectators were at this event. They paid real money for tickets to witness a game, and then they basically, it's highlighting the popularity of the event that allows people to experience a day in the life of a Florida man. Matt, what would you estimate? It does not include it in the article, but what would you estimate the cost for a ticket to the Florida Man games?
Oh man, I mean it's really invaluable if you really think of it. It can't be more than like $10, and that's pushing it.
Yeah.
What would you pay?
What would I pay? I mean, for coverage like this, I think probably the highest I'd pay would be $20.
I mean, I would have a hard time paying $20 to go to this. However, if you're from Florida, this is pretty exciting, I would have to imagine.
Very exciting. So there is a organizer. So his name's Pete Melfi. He's aimed to create an opportunity for people to enjoy a satirical take on Florida's reputation without the real life consequences, toning down racier aspects to obtain a permit. So the Florida Man phenomenon gained attention through a Twitter account sharing real life stories of bizarre incidents in the state. Matt, you and I, as being the reporters of funny business, that we typically have a lot of stories that involve the Florida Man. In our experience, what would you think would be some games that we would create for the Florida Man games?
Well, so what did I mention already before?
You were mentioning about, you said meth. I don't know why meth just came to my head.
Yeah, I don't know. So wrestling an alligator.
Okay.
The Disney line, you have to wait 4 hours in line to ride It's a Small World. However, you can't lean against the pole.
Okay.
Actually, that's the competition. There's a pole there, and if you lean on it, you're out. It's kind of like that thing where this is also a good one. So it's a John Deere tractor that you all put your hand on, and whoever has their hand on it last wins. So they win that competition and the tractor.
Okay. Ooh, the tractor, especially John Deere.
Right, correct. Yeah, as everybody clearly knows, is the best.
Yeah.
What do you got? I was trying to think some more.
I feel like something with an ex-girlfriend. I've been watching this cool documentary about American gladiators. I don't know if you saw that on Netflix yet. Did you?
No, we're still stuck on Love is Blind.
I'm thinking to myself, bringing in something with the ex-girlfriend or the ex-boyfriend. And I think there was a story about how an ex-girlfriend was trying to slice their ex-boyfriend, ex-girlfriend, I'm not sure, with a butcher's knife. So kind of have a knife throwing obstacle course, but not actually make the knives real, kind of make them foam. So it's kind of like dodge knife, like dodgeball almost.
Yep, I like that. It's kind of like in the movie Dodgeball when the patches are holding hands, throwing wrenches at everybody.
Yeah. If you could throw a wrench, if you could dodge a wrench, you could dodge a ball.
Classic. I have a few others. It's a competition, so it's known that Florida is not the best sports town or sports state. So it's a Miami Heat game. Whoever shows up the latest before they stop letting people in wins, because everybody shows up late to Heat games. That would really fit in. And then also you have to spend a weekend in Miami on spring break and not catch mono.
Oh my gosh. I did a quick Google search. Oh my gosh, Matt. Guess where I found this website at again?
Cheeseburger.com.
Cheeseburger.com.
Actually?
Yes, that's serious. Okay, so this is 32 of the craziest Florida headlines of the year so far, and I don't know when this was released, but Amy Brown was the one who posted it. So, naked Florida man discovered eating ramen in restaurant as police search for a different burglar that ate chicken wings.
Okay,
so maybe it's escape from the cops in a maze.
Yeah, I like that.
Okay, lovely. Another one that I saw was thong wearing Florida man arrested while building shed with garbage on stranger's property. I would think a thong fashion show almost for Florida men.
Yeah. That could be interesting.
There's another one too, that Florida woman drops pants, licks man, dances naked in Waffle House parking lot. I think there needs to be a dance off in front of a Waffle House parking lot.
Or you have to win a fist fight inside a Waffle House at 3 a.m.
You know a video that constantly replays in my head every now and then?
What?
So, did you ever see that there was like a heavy metal band inside of Denny's?
No.
Yeah. So, I got to send you this video. So all of a sudden they start playing and they go, "What the is up, Denny's?" And they'll like they just start playing and like there is a crowd at a Denny's watching this heavy metal band perform. And every time I think of like Waffle House, I think of Denny's within that heavy metal band performing.
Did you ever hear it's a pretty famous Reddit story, and I think it was a Florida Waffle House, where this guy would go to Waffle House and the chef was like a guy he went to high school with that purposely miscooked his eggs. And he would continue going, and they would get in a fist fight about it.
Right.
But he would continue going to this Waffle House to like prove his point that like he wanted him to make his eggs right. But every time the chef like wouldn't make his eggs correctly, and they always just continue to get in a fight. It's epic.
I have not heard that.
Yeah, that's great. Yeah.
What do you think? So this one, it says vacationers find alligator lounging on alligator pool float at their Miami Airbnb. What do you think of like, it's kind of like a pool float jousting competition?
Or like a lazy river jousting?
Like you would, yeah, like you'd be in a pool and you'd have like kind of like a flamingo and an alligator. They have like joust sticks and I guess
noodles, pool noodles.
Yes. They do mention that as the description of inflatable pool duels, but like kind of having it as like battleship almost, like kind of like knocking people down and like getting rid of the ships at sea, or shall I say at the pool.
Yeah, I like that idea a lot.
There's another one that says Florida man driving Cadillac from sunroof says he'd rather go to jail than back to his wife.
That's tough.
That's
they need counseling.
I don't know how that could be a game created from that. But,
I don't think we should mention any scenarios on the podcast.
Sure, that works.
The ones that I have, I'm definitely not going to say.
Why not?
Because I'm moving on to the next prompt.
Don't tell me what to do. What about, so this one, it says Florida man throws alligator into Wendy's for incorrect nugget amount. What about like find the alligator in like a house? Like kind of like hide and seek, but it's the alligator you're seeking.
Or flip it in reverse. You put 5 dudes in like
Jesus.
You put 5 dudes in like in a mall, like a strip mall. And you have to hide from the alligator.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah.
That's
also, people are going to start doing that to Wendy's if they start this whole fluctuate price thing.
Yeah, I remember seeing that on some headlines, and I'm sure you were looking at it too. But it was my assumption that they would like at a certain time, at a certain day of the week, they would set a burger at like said price. But then like other days at other times, like they lower the price. Is that what you got out of that?
So I thought, but I just saw a headline right before I came on. It's going to be like Uber style, like fluctuate throughout the day, which is terrible. I like thinking because at like 11 p.m., I don't know what Wendy's is open 11 p.m.
Yeah, sure.
But like that's when people are going to want like food and you're going to jack your prices up. That's like they're just going to go to McDonald's.
So I'm like trying to mentally play that in my head because I mean, it's been a while since I've Ubered somewhere. But you see the price before you confirm the Uber. How can you see the price for Wendy's when you want to go eat at Wendy's, you just go to Wendy's?
Right. So that's my thing. Like if they're going to make it like gas,
yeah,
they need like a giant sign with like a Baconator that just rotates like $2.50, $4.25, or like nuggets. Like what if you go to get like 10 nuggets and it's like $9? It's like, that's not happening.
That would be ridiculous.
Yeah, it'd be insane.
Another Florida article that I see is that Florida man steals 75 pool floats for sex.
Okay.
An idea that I thought of is like seeing how many pool floats a person can hold in one holding.
Yeah, but like you have to carry it from your car to the beach.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, like sand on top of it too.
As many. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, and it's like the sun's like friggin' boiling hot.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. No flip flops.
Oh,
no flip
you
flops.
dog.
Correct. Listen, if you want to be the king of Florida, this is what you got to do.
That is true. But yeah, I mean, it sounds like that this spectacle is gaining a following and gaining some popularity. And hell, I wouldn't be surprised if I saw this at ESPN The Ocho soon.
You never know what you're going to find on ESPN The Ocho. Also, whoever wins this competition, yet again, where I'm going to bring up Battle of the Joshes, should have to battle the winner of the Battle of the Joshes from Nebraska.
I was going to say every state should have the Pennsylvania Man Games or the New York Man Games, and then it's kind of like Miss USA almost.
It's kind of like the Red Deck Olympics of the United States.
But I agree. I feel like there needs to be more. There needs to be a grander stage compared to just Florida.
There needs to be a competition for the average man. You know, the average man cannot play in the NBA. The average man cannot be a professional bowler. Shout out Pete Weber. This is a 12-year anniversary of Who Do You Think You Are? I Am.
Hell yeah.
You know, the average person needs to be able to say like, hey, I can win something. And this is where it's going to start, you know?
I agree. I mean, American Gladiator kind of did it, but this is kind of the rebirth because American Gladiator, I don't think, is in syndication anymore. So,
yeah, or Wipeout.
Oh man, I have to say, in my honest and humble opinion,
yeah, I feel like we're going to say the same thing.
Kind of an overrated show, in my opinion.
That's trash. I was going to say I could easily win Wipeout. Easily win Wipeout. Wipeout's a great show. What's wrong with Wipeout?
I don't know. I mean, I get obviously the point. It is called Wipeout. If people don't wipe out, then like, what's the point of the show? But I feel like it's too much wiping out for my liking.
But they literally, as you said, the name of the show is called Wipeout. So you would rather watch. You would rather watch someone do the whole course and not wipe out.
I would rather have somebody get like extremely wiped out than like the constant wiping out.
I disagree. Okay. Because then the show's a fraud.
Well, okay. I mean, that's what that's what happens when you call it a certain word and it's that. Like I don't know what to tell you.
No, I think it makes that much more better. When we at our university that we attended,
yes.
Did you do the big balls that were on campus once?
Excuse me, Matthew?
The big balls were on campus.
The big balls were on campus.
Did you do the big balls?
Did I do the big balls? No, I did not do the big balls.
I almost conquered the big balls.
You liked holding on to those big balls, didn't you?
I got off the third. I bounced off the third ball.
Oh,
yeah.
It happens to the best of us.
Yeah, they were so much fun.
Yeah. So Florida Man Games. If you're down in Florida and you want to partake, I feel like there certainly is a way that you can. So if Matt is down in Florida, if I'm ever down in Florida and the Florida Man Games is happening, I think you could bet our asses that we would participate.
I would at least be like the sideline reporter, like interview everybody.
Yeah.
Actually, we should do that. We should try to get like press passes next year for this. And then we can make like a whole episode of just like us interviewing contestants of the Florida Man Games.
Yeah.
I mean, that's electric content right there.
I could imagine not the idea, but just I could just simply imagine we're trying to get press passes and it comes, oh, well, okay, you just buy tickets. And then it's like we're sitting in the bleachers of like the rest of the general admission and like trying to do reporting through that.
What do you think the trophy is?
I would assume it would probably be like a beer tower or a golden alligator.
Yeah, I'm actually imagining just like a literal 32-ounce can of Busch Light. And I don't think the winner would want anything else.
Or you would get your own headline for good news. Florida man wins the Florida Man Games competition.
I
could almost get your press.
Busch Light.
You would get the Busch Light. Okay, that's fine.
I think they'd rather want Busch Light. We wanted to share something that has become essential to those days after a long, exhausting night: Liquid IV's hydration multiplier.
It's amazing how huge a difference it makes. Liquid IV helps us feel more energized and refreshed throughout the day. With one stick, you get 5 essential vitamins and a 2 times faster hydration formula than plain water.
We both love the flavors. Yuzu pineapple and passion fruit are our top picks. They make staying hydrated a truly enjoyable experience.
What's even better is that Liquid IV is committed to giving back to communities in need worldwide by providing clean and abundant water. They've already donated over 39 servings in 50 plus countries around the world.
And we have a special treat if you want to try Liquid IV. Head over to liquidiv.com and use the code FUNNYBUSINESS at checkout to get a 20% discount on your entire purchase.
So shop better hydration today with promo code FUNNYBUSINESS. All one word, FUNNYBUSINESS at liquidiv.com at checkout.
Remember to stay hydrated and healthy and give Liquid IV a try. It's worth it. We will slide on to the second half of the show. So, Mike, I want to introduce something new before we start.
We're introducing something new,
So
and
kind
a
of,
new podcast, a new format. What are we doing here?
It's only going to be a thing for like 3 weeks.
Okay.
However, March Madness is approaching, and I was thinking of this, like in the past we've done like a preview, but by the time the preview comes out, the tournament has already started, and it's
correct
irrelevant. So the next 3 weeks I'm going to do what's called the March Madness Minute.
Okay.
So can you pull out your phone timer and set it to 60 seconds?
60 seconds.
Yeah. So don't start it yet. I will tell you when. But basically, in this 60 seconds, I'm just going to go through teams that I like and teams that I dislike going into the tournament.
Okay. All right. Hang on.
All right. Yeah. And then so from this point, tell me when to start. And then obviously we can't see each other. So just interrupt me when 60 seconds is over.
All right. Are you ready?
I am ready.
Okay. Your time begins now.
Okay. So teams that I like Creighton. Liked them in the beginning of the year. Weren't playing great. They're playing good now. It pains me to say, but UNC, I like them a lot. I think they could make a deep run. Houston is probably the team I would pick to win it all right now. They have insane defense. I also like South Florida. They're playing well. Dayton. Auburn can score a ton of points and plays good defense. Teams I dislike, Wisconsin.
30 seconds.
They will get upset in the first round. That is happening. I'm out on Alabama. They can score 100 points a game. They're going to give up 110 points a game. Not going to happen. Any Mountain West team, except maybe Utah State. But Utah State hasn't played a Power 5 team all year. Mountain West sucks. Clemson, I mean, that's obvious. Clemson basketball sucks. Virginia hasn't scored 50 points in like 3 games. I am out on Virginia. And that is the March Madness Minute. Nice. All right. I did that pretty good. Wow. Nice. I literally just have team names and I just rattled off everything else.
That's pretty impressive in my opinion.
Thank you. Tune in next week for an update. That being said, we will move on to some Say What. Mike, I will go first.
All right.
My first one. So there is a TV show about love.
Is it Blind?
And building a connection. Mike, it is not Love is Blind. It is a show.
Spit my water out.
It is a show that I know you do not like. April and I started watching again. I'm talking about The Bachelor.
Oh, man.
The Bachelor's getting down to the thick of it.
Okay.
Joey has picked his final 4. It is hometowns starting next week. He is down to Maria, Rachel, Kelsey A, and then there's Daisy.
Okay.
Daisy is a sweetheart. And Daisy's very genuine. Me and April and I are both rooting for Daisy to end up with Joey. You can tell Joey looks at Daisy differently than the rest of the girls.
Okay.
But however, people on Twitter do not like Daisy.
Why?
They don't like Daisy because they say that she is boring. So I would just like to say that just because someone doesn't have a big personality does not mean that they are boring. Maybe they just express themselves in a different way. Her and Joey still have a lot of laughs. It's not like it's cut and dry and they don't have a relationship. Okay, my brain just stopped working. Joey generally cares about Daisy. Now, Mike, let me tell you this.
Okay.
So they had their second one-on-one this week. Let me get your opinion on this.
Sure.
Joey said that a fear of his is making it to the end and the other girl not feeling the same. Daisy told him in the second one-on-one that she is not in love with him yet and that she would really need to see him with her family before feeling that way.
Oh, God.
Joey said that's not an issue and still gave her a rose and is going to hometowns next week. If that doesn't say love, I don't know what does. And Joey has a decent personality, and I don't think he would be with someone that is boring. And I don't understand the hate that Daisy's getting.
I guess my opinion is, I think when it comes to a game show, like I think very often my assumption that you wanted was about Love is Blind.
Yes.
My assumption to that is like people get very upset when they get engaged sight unseen and then they see each other and then it breaks down. And then how far are you in Love is Blind this season?
We are halfway through episode 7.
You're out of the vacation, correct?
No, still in vacation. The episode
honeymoon, I should say,
finished. They just ended the party where all the couples met each other.
Okay.
So we still haven't gotten to the part where they see their old flames.
Okay, so I will say, in the opinion of just that, where they met all the couples, there was already, let's just say, either connections or comments that were made simply because that they see each other. And I think people are hating Daisy because of the format of the show is not being followed, if I'm understanding Bachelor and the Bachelor rules.
Yeah, that could be true. Do you think I am correct, though, that you don't have to have a big personality to be, or if you don't have a big personality, you're boring? What's your thought on that?
Somebody can be absolutely fun and not have a personality, and somebody can have a flamboyant personality and be absolutely boring.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think personality it's a puzzle piece and it fits among the other person who is of interest. But I think I don't think it's a ride or die, if I'm presenting that correctly.
I agree. I think also maybe part of the reason Twitter was going off is Daisy got the very first one-on-one of the year. She caught everybody's hearts. She had a lot of health issues growing up. She has a hearing aid, like it's hard for her to hear. And ironically enough, do you know where their first one-on-one date was? It was at a concert.
I was going to say a concert.
So that was a little ironic. And then, the time between the first one-on-one and this one-on-one, there's a lot of other women that we see and he builds connections with. So I think people need to remember the connection they made back then and what they have now. And also, in all of these shows, we see like probably 2% of their total conversations on screen.
All dating reality shows.
Right. That's what I'm saying. Yeah. So people just need to understand that there's more to what we see on camera. They just show the good stuff.
I mean, I always say I'm not a huge Bachelor fan, but then all the times I watch Love is Blind, Too Hot to Handle, The Ultimatum, Perfect Match, which I don't know when that's going to be revisited again. It's like very, let's just say, hypocritical of me to say that I'm not a huge Bachelor fan, but then I'm also doing with these, let's just say, these lunky comedy. Clunky romantic reality TV shows that I'm watching.
Yeah, I hope when we both finish that we review Love is Blind on the podcast again.
Oh,
if you're up for it, this season is awesome.
This is, oh yes. I mean, we have made it a point that we recognize that Joe Santagato, who is a social media celebrity. I mean, he's been on YouTube and he's been on social for quite a bit, but
fellow podcaster,
he himself has fallen in love with Love is Blind. And that just gave me the confidence to be like, yep, I'm okay watching this because Joe Santagato is watching it.
100%. 100% correct.
So
I just
but
hit my
yeah.
move goal, by the way, sitting in my
Oh,
chair.
well, are you like walking? I can't see you. Are you running around?
No, I'm sitting in my chair.
No. But yeah, well, I mean, so you hope Daisy will win.
Yeah, no, Daisy's my number one choice for Joey.
Okay.
If I had to pick a number two, Kelsey A.
Okay.
Yeah.
Not Kelsey B.
Well, so Kelsey T, I think it was the initial, just got sent home. I actually thought he was going to have two Kelseys in the finals. He kind of surprised me on that one.
I don't know. I'd feel very uncomfortable having two people with the same name in the final four.
Yeah, you would hate to say the wrong last initial. Because who says the wrong name on a dating show app? You know,
Yeah.
dating show.
Yeah. I mean, that sounds, unless you can't see them.
Unless you can't see them, correct.
Could you imagine? Sorry, I'm like pulling this back still from the experience of how we're recording tonight. Could you imagine if like we never saw each other, we never met each other, and like we just started a podcast together?
That's actually a great reality TV show. Genius. It's probably stealing off Love is Blind.
Yeah.
That would be epic.
Oh,
yeah.
Matt, let's start writing. I only have one say what today.
Okay.
Which is more of a praise than it was. So I had a lovely opportunity to meet with an up and coming professional in the world of social media and marketing, and she absolutely just wanted some feedback and some guidance and just answer some questions in life. And I think all of us who have at least been through college, we have certainly been there where we're asking ourselves a million questions. And the reality of it is yeah, you make your way through it. But we were at Starbucks. So we went to go get Starbucks, and I usually get a grande strawberry acai with lemonade in it. Usually is my go-to choice if I already had my coffee. And to me, you know, the grande kind of, it fits well. You know, it's not like it's too big or it's too small. It's just right. And I walk over and, you know, I hear the lady go, Mike, and it's a venti. My drink is a venti. And I'm like, I said, is this mine? She goes, yeah, I accidentally made a venti for you. And I said, so do you want me to go back and pay for it? And she goes, no, you can have it. So I ended up with a venti strawberry acai for the conversation. And I thought that was very pleasant.
That is pleasant. I don't know the difference between grande, venti, and tall.
Grande.
Did you order a large? You got a small? You got a medium? You ordered a medium, got a large.
I think there's only a small and a large, and then tall is a medium. But I ordered a small. I got a large.
Oh, nice, cool. Okay, that works. Nice. I love that for you.
I think you're 95% of our audience when you ask that question. Did you get a large and a small, or did you get a small or a large?
Yeah, I will never be able to understand their sizing system.
Yeah, I just the Trienta is
30.
like, yeah, that's a big hunker.
Could you imagine though if she would have been like, yeah, you got to pay for this?
Yeah, we gotta go back to the register. Pay for it.
I would have respected that move by her. That would have been great.
And I would have just walked out with the drink. I already paid for it.
Yeah,
I have proof.
Yeah, that's kind of a genius idea. Like someone orders a medium, it's like, I made your large. Pay for it.
Pay for it.
I would pay for it. I'm not gonna get in a fight about it.
We're already coming up with great business ideas.
Yeah, listen, someone needs to hire us.
Yeah.
My last one. See, I just screwed myself. So I had this as a say what, and then I was like, no, I'm going to do this for my advice. And then I was like, no, I'm going to do this for my say what, but now I don't have advice for later in the show.
Uh-oh.
So I'm going to pivot, and this thing is going to be my advice. My say what, in relation to college basketball, can we please do something about court storming? Have you seen this, Mike?
Oh, I have.
Hot and heavy in the street.
Yes.
So Duke on the road at Wake Forest lost.
Yep.
And I'm not mad about this just because I'm a Duke fan.
Mm-hmm.
Wake Forest fans, students stormed the court. Now, court storming is fun. I will say it's cool to watch. However, not when someone supposedly gets hurt. So Duke star player Kyle Filipkowski supposedly rolled his ankle, but now apparently he's also fine. Regardless, everybody's all up in arms of should court storming be allowed? You know, the whole dynamic behind it, and something does need to be done. I don't know if you have any opinions. I don't think it should be banned because it's cool and it's unique to college basketball. but we got to get some better security out here.
I think honestly having better protection over the players. And I think what I mean by that is having really let's just say a no touch policy. Like if you are storming the court, you are taking responsibility that you will be supporting your team and your team only. Let's just say and in most cases when this happens, like it is like the home team that is storming the court compared to like an away team storming a court. Can you verify that? Is that
away team will never storm the court?
Right.
Yeah.
So I think there needs to be a thing set in play. Like if you do touch another player, you either get a suspension or as a student, like you either get like service time, a suspension, or like something that just a student just does not want to do it because of the repercussions that are behind it.
Yeah. So a lot of people say court storming should be banned, which at first I was like, yeah, that makes sense. But it is like, it's part of college. Like college kids are going to upset a basketball team at home and you're going to storm the court. That's fun.
Right.
I think some ways to fix it, because if you don't do anything and say, let it go as it is, we're going to get a malice on the palace again. And that nobody wants that. Now people make up a good point. Like, how come the fans can storm the court after a game, but the players can't go into the stands? That's a fair point. I think the most logical thing is one, getting actual security to like maintain it.
Right.
Or if the students just wait, let the away team get in the locker room and then you go balls to the wall.
Yeah. I feel like I don't know. The momentum I think would be absolutely lost if they made them wait, you know?
Okay, then just get like a wall security around the away team.
Yeah. Or like, I can't say really, like it's tough because like you have to institute it, you know, NCAA wide, but kind of have like safe zones, you know? Like kind of establishing like that wall, like you said, like when the game is over. And like, I think it should be every college athlete's responsibility too, that they know that if in the event that they are going to have a storm the court, like they need to get off the court fast, you know?
Well, so what if it's a buzzer beater?
If it's a buzzer beater, then and I think that institutes, you know, that not law, but like if you touch a player, then you're getting repercussions from it. That's the away team.
Yeah, but also if you're telling the opposing team get off the court fast and they're running, but like they run into like other students running the floor, like there's got to be something's got to be done, because like drunk college kids are always going to instigate the other team. Like it's just going to happen, and they just got to do something before it's too late. And there's a huge fight, and then it turns into this whole legal thing, and it's because it's going to happen. Absolutely, it's going to happen.
Now, I will say, I think I did see Filipkowski like trip somebody before we actually got like pushed into or like had his ankle rolled.
So yes, and my that was wrong too. However, again, these guys just lost a big game. It's the same as like the Malice of the Palace. You let the fans on the court after a big loss, the player is going to react. So yes, he shouldn't do it, but that's why fans shouldn't. I'm making the case for them not to be on the court, because like the players can't go into the stands, kind of thing.
That makes sense.
I don't know. At the end of the day, court storming is fun to watch on TV. That's all I know.
Just like to see like the flooding of like fans just on the court, and like you've only saw like 10 people on the court, and now you see like 60 or like hundreds already storming the court. Like I like it, but I agree there should be some safeguards beyond it.
Yeah, and if you're like a Seton Hall student and you get UConn at home, like part of the thrill is like, oh man, we could rush the court after this game. Like that's part of it.
Yeah.
All right, we will finish the show with some down in the dumps. Mike, I'll let you go first. Anything not go like you planned today? I just what do you got in your mind?
It's very funny because I actually didn't list it in it. But a couple things I'll rip through them quick. So, one thing, how I'm down in the dumps of how quickly 1 hour goes by for virtual golf.
I legit it felt like 15 minutes. Legit.
So if we were able to record the way that we should, we ended up talking about kind of our our virtual golf experience, and it was an hour in the booth. But by the time, okay, it also messed up too because the person that was at our booth was still at our booth when our time started.
Yes.
And the person was not told to leave. But then,
and they came up to us at our time.
Yeah, they came up to us.
There's people behind you.
And it's like, okay, thanks. Yeah. So anyway, but by the time we got practice swings in and then actually getting in the game and then me being awful in the bunker, like by the time it was all good, I mean, we were lucky to hit 9 holes, but at the same time, I think it was just kind of hard for us to, we were trying to have conversations, but then like by the time like we're getting up and like swinging, or we were kind of just like assessing it just how quickly it came by. And I don't know, like I think a split for 1 hour, like just a split cost of you and I just hitting some golf balls to a virtual screen was, at a decent cost, but I don't think I would want to do like 2 hours unless it's like kind of the only thing we really can do during the time,
I think if you do 2 hours, you need like 4 people.
Yeah.
So that way, like, you do have more time to talk, and like, you're never really going to be able to get like 18 holes and enjoy it like the way you kind of want to at a simulator. But it was very fun. I enjoyed it a lot.
Yeah.
I say I shot a 43 on the front 9. However, I was at a 39 through 8, and I had a birdie putt, so it could have been a 42.
I know Matt's first hole was a birdie putt, and he's like, "What is going on with me?"
No, my first hole was a drive right down the middle, and then the chip within like 3 feet, and it was an automatic birdie. I was like, "What is happening? I'm going to be on the PGA Tour."
So I'm sure we will be visiting that place again in somewhat near future, but maybe with some more friends.
Sure, yeah, I'd be down for it.
So, another down in the dump that I have, I broke my belt recently.
Listen, as someone who has broken multiple belts, that is tough.
I was just about done, like just getting my trousers up after using the bathroom, and I just felt a click, and then I felt my belt buckle in my hand, and my belt was still around my waist, and my hand was nowhere near my waist, and I was like, oh, I broke my belt. And I don't really like that belt, but again, as any good man, I have quite a few belts, so I had one easily accessible within the next week, but it's kind of a pain,
It is, yeah. I mean, if you and listeners remember, I think I broke 2 belts in like 2 weeks.
Yep.
A little while ago. It gets in your head a little bit. Yeah. And, you just got to move on. You chalk it up as the belt was old.
Well,
that's what you got.
Jenna made a really good point to me about me breaking my belt, is that usually something good happens within that time frame when I've broken my belt, because the last time I broke my belt was when I started dating Jenna. So,
okay, that's good. That's good. Yeah.
So we'll see what happens.
Yeah.
And then lastly, Matt, I don't know if this is happening to you or not, but I have a gripe about Instagram trying to verify my login. So I'm scrolling on the app, and all of a sudden I get this like pop-up screen that keeps coming up, and it's asking me to verify my login, that like I'm the actual person who's logged in to the Instagram account. And it's like that CAPTCHA, like kind of like find the bus, and like you're pressing the squares of like the bus in the picture. But like it is happening to me, I think like every other day. And it's like, I just want to scroll on Instagram, and I just want to be able to enjoy the content that's being on the feed, but I can't, because Instagram's like, we want to make sure it's you. And it's like, yes, it's my phone. It's an app. You have that data. So quick gripe.
Has not happened to me a single time.
Of course it didn't.
Yeah. I do have a gripe against Instagram that you bring it up. Every time I start to scroll and see a post, it takes like 5 to 7 seconds for it to tell me how long ago it was posted.
Really?
Yeah. So like I'm scrolling right now. I'm on a post 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1 day ago. It just popped up.
Real? That is odd.
And that's kind of annoying, because like if it's an old post on like Barstool, it's like I don't really care.
Yeah, but then when you're like dropping a like, that can get a little convoluted.
Yeah, well, that's the other thing. Like, you don't want to. It looks weird if you like a post that's like 3 days old. So that could. I sent you something very funny on Instagram, by the way. Did I send that to you? I think.
What's that?
I sent you for something very funny. I for a second didn't think I sent it to you, but I did.
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
I'll check it out. But yeah, that's my gripe with Instagram.
That's a good one. It would piss me off too. All right, I have a few. This past weekend, just could not sleep. Don't know why. I felt tired and went to lay down in bed and could not sleep. Even after we went golfing, I had a long day Saturday, long day Sunday. It was like 9:30, and I was laying on the couch, and I'm like, I don't feel like scrolling on my phone. I don't feel like watching TV. I'm going to bed. Laid in bed till 2 a.m. And I couldn't sleep. Yeah, it was weird.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm fine. Like I wasn't even like stressed about anything or wasn't thinking about anything. I just couldn't sleep. I also don't know why I just didn't get up and take melatonin, because last night took some melatonin and slept like a damn baby.
Oh, well, you're gonna sleep well tonight. Let me tell you.
Why is that?
I don't know. I just am positive vibes only.
Oh, okay. Yeah, sure. Yeah. I woke up today on Tuesday and I thought it was Wednesday.
Oh, that's really something to be down the dumps.
That really sucked. And I was like driving to work. I was like, wait, damn it, it's Tuesday. That one really sucked.
Oh,
and then finally, so this is kind of a bigger problem. So I went to the doctor last week and he found something in my blood work.
Okay.
I have what is called the fatty liver. So you'd think that if the doctor finds something in your blood work, you're like, all right, maybe he's gonna like run a test just to like see what it is. He doesn't want to run a test. Because he said it's because I've gained too much weight and I now have to lose 20 pounds.
Okay. I just did a quick Google search because anytime is medical, I look up a quick Google search.
Yeah, right. I mean, that's the best doctor there is the internet.
Are you aware what it may be associated with?
Like the cause?
Yes.
It my weight gain.
No. It does say obesity and type 2 diabetes. It says though it's also associated with excessive alcohol consumption.
See, that's even more concerning because I haven't drank this year. So he literally said to me, he's like, I'm not even considering like an ultrasound. You just got to lose some weight. And I was like, all right, well, how much is like some weight? Like, give me a range you want me between. And he gave me a range, which I knew I needed to lose some weight. I knew I gained some pounds. But yeah, I got to lose about 20 pounds.
I think I think the only thing that you might have, like, again, mayoclinic.org, another Google search, like you got just looking here at a quick glance at this, it's you got high blood sugar, hyperglycemia. I mean, I hope
I'm fat.
Yeah. No, you're not.
Yes, I am. Fat Matt is over.
No.
The good news is, did you realize this? So as of release of this episode, we only have one more episode till daylight savings.
Yes,
that's clutch.
I'm so excited.
Yeah, I can't wait. So Monday it was kind of nice out. April and it was a little chilly. We went for a 2.5 mile walk after work.
Nice.
Yep. And I also just now have more of an excuse to go golfing because it's physical activity
and walking.
Yes, I'm going to walk 9 holes. There's also another reason I have for golfing more, but we'll get into that later.
Yeah. At least you know what you know, and you got a plan.
Yeah, I mean, I knew I had to lose some weight, and I haven't really been able to get to the gym since I had COVID, and that's something I'm just going to get back to doing.
Well, thank you all so much for tuning in. If it's your first time visiting us, sorry. Due to unforeseen circumstances, you may have watched this on YouTube and you're like, well, where the heck are these people? And it's like, oh, well, okay. Like, okay, they got past videos. Like, well, we're work in progress, people. It'll work out. But if you're looking for good content, you can find us at beacons.ai/funnybusinesspod. We are able to show you all the good stuff on our social media, as well as our live stream and also the merchandise, because the merchandise is also good. You could do it whether you wear the merchandise, whether you got a face for radio like us two right now, or you could wear it as a nice sweatshirt because we got wonderful sweatshirts. So, Mr. Matthew.
Yes.
what is your advice for the good people, the coworkers of the funny business world?
Don't be afraid of change. Change can be good. Well, is there going to be times where change is bad? Yeah. But if you have the mindset that change is going to be bad, it's going to be bad, whether it's actually good or not. So it doesn't matter. Change at home, change at work, change in a relationship, change in a friendship, change in a diet, change in a TV show. You never know what it's going to bring. Could give you a new peak a new interest, a new hobby, a new conversation. So let's embrace change in 2024.
Absolutely. Change is a good thing.
Yes.
Well, thank you all so much for tuning in. And until the next time, we'll see you all in the next episode.
Stay safe, everyone.